It's another Small Business Tuesday. Remember these guys? Well, they made an amp. You may think this is a pedal. It is, but it's an amp. I don't care what you say. I don't care what October Audio says. I don't care what the President of the United States says. This is an amp, and it's a broken up amp. Oh, it's so good. What is up, YouTube? My name is Buddy Blues and welcome to another Small Business Tuesday. We've covered October Audio in the video right here of their origin, who they are, all that stuff. You should click this video. This is an unbelievable boost. I taught you math in that video if you remember. So these guys just released the Robotic Celebrity Head. Now, what is it? It's strange looking, it's small, it's got one knob, just like the other one, it's a one knob wonder. There's a switch that says this and here, and it is side-mounted jacks, but both are on this side. Trust me, this is brilliant. So what is this thing? In the intro, I said it's an amp. Here's why I say it's an amp. I don't know how these folks do it. If you've never played a tube amp, you hear this, it's becoming a buzzword. It's a crank tube amp. You have to crank your tube amp, blah, 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 blah. You hear that all the time. Here's why. If you've never done it, kick the wife out of the house, the kids, your parents, depending on how old you are, the neighbors. Tell everybody to go away for about an hour. Not 5 minutes. I'm not talking about crank that tube amp and play for a little bit. Yeah, it sounds great. No. Play for an hour with a very loud amp. It forces you to do things with the guitar volume, with the way you play, that you don't really usually do. These nuances you don't usually do if you've got a mothership of a pedal board underneath you and your amp is always clean and low. Things like if you pick hard, it responds different. Things like sustain, it's just there. It's there because of how loud it is. Things like that natural overdrive. Sometimes if you have a humbucker, neck pickup, volume cranked, fuzz, the amp goes into full-on fuzz. You don't get that with an amp that's too low or an amp that's attenuated too much. So even if you have an attenuator and all that, we're not gonna get into this. This solves this problem. So if you've got a tube amp, crank it. Crank it for an hour and learn that relationship. So that's what I did for a very long time. Ladies and gentlemen, let me right off the bat tell you, I'm going to be linking in the description below the timestamp of when I start playing, because you guys don't like when I talk too much. Some guys. Anyway, so the reason I started this YouTube channel pretty much is I spent my entire guitar life not touching a single pedal. I think I explained it in the intro video. I'll link it right here. So 15 years I didn't touch a pedal ever. It was just me, tube amp, cranked, or me, awful amp, cranked. And it really taught me how amps react. So I would crank the volume, even if I'm at a bar or I'm at a festival, and I would use the volume knob on my, usually a Strat or my guitar or whatever. That relationship between amp and guitar is really simulated here in two ways. So right here, you've got that switch that is here and there. This is your one knob wonder, and switch on and on, side mounted jacks, blah, blah, blah. This is the important part. Whenever it's in the down position, meaning in the here position, let me show you a little bit more, focus. It's more of an amp that is loud, but tamed, a tamed overdrive. This is an overdrive and a fuzz pedal, but I don't want to say pedal, I want to say amp. So in the bottom one, the silicone diodes start kicking in. I'm going to link a little thing here of the inside of this handmade pedal, by the way, hand-wired pedal. Look at this. So in the down position, the here position, silicone diodes are doing their thing. You've got that it's very soft overdrive type thing where if, I'm gonna mostly play this cranked because this pedal loves to be cranked. So I'm gonna play it mostly here, and all my volume swells are gonna be with the guitar. It's gonna be good. In the this position, in the up position, which says this, it is a fuzz depending on what goes in the pedal. So if I've got a Strat, if I've got a loud amp, loud-ish amp, and I've got a Strat, neck pickup, volume full, it's gonna be quite fuzzy. If I'm playing a Les Paul, something with humbuckers that's got a lot more output going in here, That's gonna get really fuzzy, and that's when the germanium diodes do their thing. October Audio described both of these sounds as Link Ray's Rumble, the song that made that fuzz sound famous. You probably just saw that in the Reverb movie, didn't you? This pedal is part of their Lil Pedal series because it's a little pedal. Okay? Got the lovely vintage germanium diodes in there. Ladies and gentlemen, I am itching for you to hear this pedal. Here's what I'm gonna do. I don't wanna give this pedal an advantage at all. I don't wanna put a tube screamer, I don't wanna put the November gain, I don't wanna put anything before or after it. I'm going to use the cheapest amp that I have. It is a tube amp, it's a Fender Supersonic, you've seen it a million times on this channel. I think used they go between $400 and $500. It's a cheap amp. So I don't want to give this pedal any advantage. I just want you to see how incredible it is. It is a type of pedal that after you hear it, hopefully, you're gonna want to keep it on. You're gonna want to keep that pedal on. And it would do absolutely great in a one pedal type situation of a gig. For example, a short cable into the amp, you plug into this, keep it on, that's it. And then at that point, you don't even need a tube amp. That, a PV Viper, clean, there you go. And then max that, and ladies and gentlemen, ride that volume knob. And so I'm going to play my wedding Strat, and we're gonna go into the Supersonic. Just said, I'm not gonna give this guitar an advantage. Plays a $5,000 guitar. Tell you what, I'm going to play my wedding Strat because I want you to hear that Stratty single coil, and I'm going to play a $300 Squier Jazzmaster. Let's get to it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have now heard the lovely Robotic Celebrity Head from October Audio. Ladies and gentlemen, it's $142. It does all of that you just heard, and then some. I do thank October Audio for sending me this, and let's put it on the board. Let's keep it on the board. Or, you know what? This is gonna be my no board type of thing. My next gig, I'm just gonna take this, a cable, a guitar, and Cheerios. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I have been Buddy Blues. You have been the people of the blues. Like, share, subscribe, show this video to your Aunt Becky. And until next time.